2021 seminar series with Shani Pandya, November 18th, 2021. This is our leadership team for this year in GSC. Roshan and I are the current co-chairs. We've got Reza, Avinash, and Rajmohan as our publicity team. And then our whole support team, Anirban, Emmanuel, Swapnil, Nazli, Rodney, Andrew, and Falani. And then our faculty mentor, Farouk, and correspondents, Robert Rucker. We have regular leadership meetings on Fridays at 4. They're currently being done over Zoom. If you would like to attend, please contact either me or Roshan. Our emails are up here. We also request that you become a member of our Engage so that we can get access to your email and send you information about our upcoming talks and events. We also have a Facebook page that posts when our events are and whenever new videos go up on our YouTube channel. So if you can't make a seminar or if you're late to one, don't worry, we record them and we put them all there. Just a reminder, we have the Dave and Susan Burt team room up and running. Apologize on some of the formatting. It seems that when I went to LibreOffice, it kind of panicked a bit, but email us if you would like access to it. We have to go through the administration to get things to allow your ID in. And just a reminder, in a few moments, we'll be putting a attendance sheet in the chat. Please sign that so that we know who attended and how well these seminars are going. All right, and with that, today we'll be having Shani Pandya giving his talk on entrepreneurship. A very exciting talk. We're very pleased to have him. And with that, I will go ahead and send that over to you. Let's see.
Super.
I may need to, it's not letting me leave, so I might have to leave and come back, but I will give you access. Come on.
Go ahead, Shani, you can share.
Yes. Just give me a moment. So my screen is visible?
Yes, go ahead.
Perfect. It's this full screen or it's I think if it's some challenge here, just a minute. Now it's visible, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Perfect. So very good evening from India. Namaste to everyone. Myself, Shani Pandya, founder and CEO, Imagine PowerTree Pvt Ltd. I will take you through the small journey which I had of entrepreneurship of last 5 to 6 years, and hoping that so I'm the least qualified person over here because I'm the kind of I'm just BTech chemical engineer, MTech petroleum dropout, and I'll just say the journey which I had of last 4 to 5 years. Just a minute, I am going to the screen. Oh, it's me. I'm a chemical engineer from the background. I did my graduation from PDPU Pandit Dindal Energy University. I started a business incubation center at the age of 21 to support young entrepreneurs like us. I'm a former TEDx speaker. Just a minute, I faced some challenge here. Oh. Perfect. So I'm a coffee lover, and I'm just going to share my journey as an entrepreneur, how I started, how I started to think about this as a journey, right? So it started in the second year. It was very interesting kind of a subject when one of my friend, Mr. Happy Patel, he was coming from a family business background, where kind of he wanted to so when in the college we have a stationery shops, they were selling the pen drives with some amount of rupees, and we thought of let's bring we checked up prices in the China of the same pen drive, right? And we came to know that the pricing in the China is very less compared to the what we pay to our people, our stationery owners over here. So what we realized over there, and we started as a venture, was just importing pen drives from China in 2012, right? And selling with the lesser rate compared to our stationary players. So that was the first kind of area where we made good profits at that time. That was kind of informal venture. We were running as a student venture. We ran for a year, and once our kind of our container got hold in one of the area, at that time we stopped our business. So we have not made any losses, but that was the starting phase for me to understand the entrepreneurship as a word, right? It was new for me. This was I'm not coming from a family business background. My parents are teachers. They teach students. My grandparent is also a retired principal. So I'm coming from a typical teaching background, right? And no one is entrepreneur. No one become an entrepreneur in my family. But when I experienced that in the second year of my college, that was kind of very, very interesting kind of a journey at that time. So at that time, what I learned was, if there is a demand and if you're able to supply with the right kind of a rate, right kind of strategy, you're able to you can create your own markets and you can make profits and you can scale your ventures, right? So that was one of the first venture which I started as an informal venture without registering a company. Just to we find that there is a need of a product in the market and we try to do an import export. So that was the time where I started my first kind of a venture, the informal venture. The story started in the third year. So we made one of the improved version of the biodiesel. And when we made a biodiesel in the lab, right, we thought of why not to commercialize it, right? Why not to take it to the market? So what we did, we approached our college for the support. We approached to our parents for the support. Our parents said, beta, you should focus on the studies, right? You're a student, you're a third year students, your engineering is going on, so focus on the studies. We are not able to finance you. We approached to the banks. They said, focus on the studies. We are not able to support you, right? We don't have any mechanism to do it. We don't have anything which can support you. You already completed your R&D, but the research and development is one part, but for a commercialization, we don't have any mechanisms. So we felt very helpless at that time because we wanted to do something in this domain and we are not able to get any support from any of the other mechanisms. So we approached the banks at that time as well. So we talked to the banks, we asked them to support us, but still they asked, where is your 3-year balance sheet? And we are not having any kind of balance sheet at that time. That was just a student who made something and they wanted to commercialize it. So no one supported us at that time, right? That was the phase where we are able to analyze, okay, boss, this is not done. What are the best colleges and universities doing to support young entrepreneurs like us, right? What are the mechanisms available? So we studied about Y Combinator, we studied about Harvard, Stanford's, and the best of the best colleges globally, and what mechanism they were providing to support young entrepreneurs. So at that time, we came to know about the terminology called as incubation. Right, we are the freshers. We are pursuing our student life. We are enjoying our student life, but that incubation word kind of change our entire mindset. So we decided, why not to start a venture, right, which can support entrepreneurs like us, young entrepreneurs like us, who don't have any mechanism available to support them in our particular area. So we started the incubation center in our college. So it was the entire journey where I had given a detailed TEDx speech, how I started it, how the journey we had. But we started the incubation center where we keep aside our biodiesel idea. Now this incubation center in period of 5 years supported 130 plus startups where their valuation is more than 130 crores Indian rupees. And the business are growing really good. Business are doing really good in the incubation center. They have 70 plus IPR filed, patents filed, and it is going pretty good. So, so what the lesson I learned specifically in this time, right? If I have not taken that initiatives, or we have not taken initiatives at that time, right? There are many young people like us might not able to pursue their own dreams to become an entrepreneur. but I had taken a risk, right? I dropped out from my MTech. That is now impacting life of many millions of people, changing the way how they think about the perspective. For an example, there was one startup who were making a torch for the blind people. So that was the idea which he developed in the bootcamp. Now that torch is circulated among 1 lakh plus blind people globally, right? So when if he only thought of just as an idea, just to make it a lab, right? He might not be able to impact this much life in a venture, right? So this incubation center is creating amazing impact in the life of people, the young entrepreneurs support system. What these two basically is, they provide a lot of support systems like finance, mentoring, training, and each and everything which is going to be required to become a successful entrepreneur. So that reduces the chances of getting failed. So now when I work for 5 years with the center, right, I also realized at that time there is a big gap of understanding of mine in the area of entrepreneurship, because I never experienced the entrepreneurship as on a first hold. This was the incubation center, but it was still driven by the university. So what I have decided at that time was, if you want to experience, if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to motivate the other people's, right, you have to experience the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not the subject which can be learned in the classrooms. It's not subject of theories, right? It's a subject of practice that needs to be applied. So that is what I am able to realize after working for 4.5 years with the center and creating good amount of impact for this society. So as a center, we recruited 15 plus people to run the entire show. At the same time, I left the organization. I started my own ventures. So I started to experience entrepreneurship. So 3 years back, I started my own company where our motivation was changing the way how we power our cities. So the motivation behind this was how, so in our college, there is a 1 megawatt solar plant, right? And that plant is consuming 6-acre dedicated land. And the market value of that land is in the millions of dollars, but the project value was not that much high, right? So the challenge is now that land is reserved for next 25 years. And the way the world is moving towards net zero and everything, it's going to be difficult for all the countries and cities to achieve their own renewable targets. So what we did, basically, we taken an inspiration from natural trees and converted into a solar farm. So it consumes very less space in the ground, can be installed in uncertain locations like gardens, medians of the roads, both the side of the roads, right? Charging electric vehicles in the parking areas. At the same time, it rotates as per sun's direction. So give us 20% more generation compared to the traditional solar plant. So this was the idea which we thought of, and now we're implementing in the various places of the state. So we are more than in the more than 10 plus cities, doing good amount of revenue. We crossed 1 million USD revenue last 2.5 years. 1 million of work orders are on hand, and we are implementing the same. We are having a 15 plus full-time employees in our company, and I learned a lot of stuff being a part of this organization. The one of the most important stuff was leading at a young age. In India, there is a philosophy: if you have a gray hairs, right, then only you're able to lead it. But the way the world is changing very fast, right? You know Mark Zuckerberg, you know a lot of young entrepreneurs are now doing amazing. They are making unicorns at very young age, which was not happening before 30 years or 40 years, right? This is now happening in the world. So what I'm able to realize, if I might have chosen a placement, if I might chosen a job as my career option, right? I might not able to create impact or not able to grow myself as a person, as an individual, as I'm able to grow, being starting early a venture, right? Jumping early into the venture, experiencing various ups, downs, and to be simple and honest, it was really wonderful journey, right? So when as an entrepreneur, some days I'm very happy, some day I'm very nervous, right? But one thing is for sure, I'm very passionate about what I am doing and how I'm creating an impact, right? And I'm very passionate about my team, which is doing amazing work on the ground, right? And changing the way how we operate solar as energy, right? It's art plus technology combination. which is creating impact for the society. So it's always been a good journey of seeing what other people are not able to see and creating an impact to change, to make this world a better place. So this is what we are doing from last 3 years. And to be honest and frank, if I might have gone to any of the places, I might not able to explore of myself as much I'm able to explore being an entrepreneur. The another advantage of being an entrepreneur is I was sure about one thing: if I got failed, that is also okay, right? Because if I got failed, right, I'm going to learn various very important skill as an entrepreneur. It's a leadership, it's a communication, it's about understanding of a problem and solving it, right, in a proper way. It's about managing teams, it's about managing operations, it's about managing finance, it's about bringing new products, it's about new R&D, it's about patent development, right? I'm not able to experience all these different amazing areas if I might have chosen another path other than the entrepreneurship. This I'm able to experience, and because of that, what helped me to understand the good companies, the big companies are always in search of the entrepreneurial people in their own organizations, right? So as career options, I was sure about one thing: if I might not able to successful in my venture, because it's a risky business, it's a business, right? But I'm still confident about one step. If I try early, if I get failed, that is also okay. I have another options to become a leader in the key positions in some of the fastest growing startups or some of the mature companies, right? So when I taken a risk at initial stage, that helped me to understand various perspective about business, and that is how we are commercializing. We have 16 plus design patents in our name, filing 2 kind of technical patents, which I might not able to do if I become part of some other organizations or not starting my own ventures, right? So this is how my journey was. Starting early helped me a lot because I was not having any responsibility when I started my business. I was just when I started Incubation Centre, I was just a student and wanted to do something for our society or people like us. When I started my business, I was having 4 years of experience, but still I was feeling if I get failed, I might have a better chance to than any other players to be a part of the positions, right? Because people are searching for highly passionate, committed, and experienced people as an entrepreneurial role in the organization. So these are some of the key important key important activities which played a very important role in the journey of mine as an entrepreneur, right? So one of the most important role which Roshan might be knowing, right? We are playing cricket a lot. When I was a student of the college, right? I was playing a cricket a lot. So now I'm able to realize how cricket helped me to mold myself as an entrepreneur. So when I was playing a cricket, it helped me to have a kind of a fighting spirit. So when in entrepreneurship, it's always about fight. It's always about taking a risk. It's always about taking decisions. It's about making sure that your team perform at its best, right? And you all can behave as a Dhoni or as a captain, right? And you have to make sure that your team is winning. So cricket played a very important role to develop myself as an entrepreneur, because I applied lot of tactics as an entrepreneur based on the cricket matches, cricket strategies, which we are able to do when we are fighting or we are playing with other opponent teams, right? So that helped me to develop myself as an entrepreneur, as a leader. The right mentors, it always being a great kind of a thing to find the right kind of mentor who are going to shape your journey. So I'm pleased to find Mr. Kapadia, Mr. Abhinav Kapadia being my mentor, my guru, who helped me to take right decisions at the right time. So mentor will help you to have an analysis of what is going to be the best for you or what is not going to be, or how both the path looks like, what are the pros and cons, right? Which you might not able to see as young entrepreneur. There is a chances that you're able to make mistakes, right? But if you have a right mentor with the right kind of energy, it is as an entrepreneur, your journey is going to be very simple and amazing. And I am pleased to have that kind of mentors on board who is helping me to become one of the successful entrepreneur. Another one is super awesome people. I always, when I go for a recruitment or if I go for hiring some people, I don't see, there is 2 parts of any humans, right? It's a skill set and mindset. When I go for recruitment, the skill set is one part, right? A skill set can be developed very fast, but the mindset cannot. Mindset is difficult to develop. So I find and I search for good people. I always to be around good people, which help me to motivate and do amazing in my own journey. I also make sure that my people who are working in the company who are also in the good kind of atmosphere, in the good culture. So we have a good culture in the company which is helping others people to grow around, right? It's about taking care of your people. If they're able to grow, you're always able to grow, right? Spirit of fight. I'm not talking about a negative fight, right? It's a positive fight. As an entrepreneur, you always have to be in a fighting spirit. You have to fight with any kind of difficulties which you're facing. You have to fight. You have to skill yourself, right? And you have to better in each rounds, right? It's every day is a new round, and you have to, rightly said by Jeff Bezos, so every day is a first day for him, right? So you have to be playing like with the same energy, enthusiasm when you're running a company. When you're running a company. So another part which played very important role is execution capacities and capabilities. When I was a kind of a young entrepreneur, it was difficult for me to do a lot of activities at the same time. It's about delegating, it's about understanding, it's about managing people. So it's about a lot of responsibilities you are taking. Many people start a business because they just feel that they don't want to do a job, right? That's not right. It's not right to start a venture. My reason was never to start a venture because I don't wanted to do a job, right? I wanted to inspire other entrepreneurs to become entrepreneurs from day one, right? That was the reason I started my own venture, where people can follow my journey, and I can give them a right path when I become a successful entrepreneur. So your why must be clear when you start something as young entrepreneur, right? So if you don't want to do a job, it's not the right reason to start an entrepreneurial journey. You are the biggest employee of your own company. If no one is going to work, someday you have to clean your office as well, right? So I have did it in my life, right? So if the people are not there, sometimes you have to do the work which you are one of the lowest person. A peon might be doing, a housekeeping person might be doing, right? At the same times, there are boredom battles which you also have to take care. So it's not only about just starting a venture because you don't want to do a job, right? You don't want to have someone as a boss, right? There are always when you become an entrepreneur, all your employees are your boss, right? You're able to feel when you experience it. That was my mindset when I started my venture, but now it's totally changed. You are one of the biggest employee of your own company, and you are not allowed to do much mistakes because it affects the life of other people, right? Life of your employees. I'm just 27. I really had a good entrepreneurial journey which I wanted to share with you amazing guys, right? You still have kind of your students of PhD. You're doing some amazing work, great work. I got a chance to hear about the amazing work which you guys are doing. Someone is making polymer composite materials, someone is making next generation technologies, right? I always tell people it's not about making innovations, right? When one of my mentor told, what is the right innovation? Right innovation is invention multiplied to the commercialization. That is the right innovation. If you're inventing anything, right, it is not commercialized. That is not an innovation. It's just you're keeping that innovation in the boundaries of the books, right? If in the boundaries of the books, if it is not commercialized, you are not creating an impact. So there must be a technology transfer, technology spin-outs, or you might be running your own ventures when you develop your own technologies or ventures. So that is what I wanted to share with all of you, and looking forward to have more interactions and question answers during our next version of interaction. Again, namaste and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Shani. We'll start the Q&A section now for anyone who wants to ask a question. So does anyone have one right off the bat?
Probably I'll ask one.
Yes, sir.
So so I see that you have done some modular changes to like normal solar panels to like having more of an inspired notion from the nature. Sorry, I was wondering how many extra panels could you include for the same amount of land that you would install, and what is the percentage increase of power output just by the panels themselves?
So for an example, if you go for so we installed world size capacity solar tree recently, where in a single plot we are able to have 16 kilowatt capacity. Now that 16 kilowatt capacity, because now the panel sizing is also increasing, right? The same structure can be generating 21 kilowatt plus. So we use 390 watt solar panels. Now the same structure is capable enough to have 21 kilowatt plus, right? That is one area. Second area which we are working on is rotating as per sun's direction. We are already doing it. So that is helping us to generate 20% more power compared to the traditional fixed tilt systems. That is two. Third, so our pole work, so we are innovating a new kind of a concept where the single pole also work by consuming the particular matters and the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, where it is also going to work like a normal tree, which is capturing the pollutants. That is three. So these are the three areas which we are trying to innovate as of now. But the panels, so we don't wanted to reinvent the wheel. So we don't wanted to customize the panels, right? So we targeted one of the lowest hanging fruit is the structure. So there is scope of innovation where in a smaller area in certain locations you can plant solar, so you can install solar trees where it saves you dedicated space in the ground. So you can reduce the transmission process.
Right. Probably a follow-up question to that would be, sorry, I was thinking about something and then it just slipped my mind. Oh yes, so my question was like, what is the cost difference from like a normal general installation to what you are providing, and what is the return, or like what is the payback period generally for such things?
There are three different kind of perspectives. So I will give you a simple example. So PDPU college has 1 megawatt solar plant. Our own college has 1 megawatt solar plant. Now the value of that plant is around 1 million USD. The solar plant, this solar component, right? And the value of that land is 10 million USD as on date.
Right.
Right. So when you consider land to comparison, you got to ROI from day one, because that land is not going to be used for next 25 years.
Right.
So this is one. Second, if you compare with the power generation part, so for an example, the traditional system, the groundwater system, and the solar tree as a power, right? So the solar rooftop system might get ROI in 4.5 years, right? And the power tree, if you go for it, right, it is going to give you ROI in 6.5 years. If you only compare power to power. But at the same time, what we are also doing, because power tree is normally installed in the public locations and that kind of locations, right? We put up advertising screen over there, and we partnered with the advertising agency for outdoor advertising screen, right? Where our capital cost, which goes extra in solar tree, right? Where you get a multiple revenues from the advertising screens. When you compare, so that extra cost is covered kind of from the advertising screen or the EV charging opportunity which is giving in the down location. So we are not directly competing with the rooftop players, we are complementing them. So our business model is simple. Competitor, we are complementer. When you don't have a rooftop system available, you can go for a solar tree. So that is what we are focusing on as of now.
Cool. And probably one last question. What about rooftop installations? Like, can you put a power tree on a rooftop, like a dish?
So we are launching very interesting product in month of January. I'll just give you highlights because we are also filing a patent for it. So what we are doing, so in a rooftop, there is one of the major challenges which I am able to analyze during lockdown. So what happened during the lockdown, when I wanted to spend time with my family in a rooftop, because that was the only space, right? I have a bulky rooftop system in my house, traditional system. So saying multiple poles installed in my terrace. The challenge which I personally faced is not movable, it's fixed. So we are able to lose our mobility. So what we are launching is we are launching a solar tree for a rooftop, which is going to be a portable, which is going to be a foldable with the same price.
Nice, very good.
Right. So the affordable, foldable, and no site work. So it is going to be delivered in the Amazon. If you order me from USA, if you want it to your place, I don't need to send any engineers to do installation at Rosen's house. So that is going to be delivered in the containers without any kind of a site installation to your place. It's kind of a fridge which is delivered to you at your house, right? Placed to you. Just start a switch, it's added to power.
Awesome.
So that is what we're launching from month of January during Vibrant Gujarat, because Vibrant Gujarat is coming in Gujarat, so we're launching during Vibrant Gujarat. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Roshan.
Okay, any further questions from anyone?
Guys, ask me difficult questions.
It's not so much as a question, but an observation.
Yes, sir.
What you've come across is saying that you're passionate about doing such and such, and you gave your journey, which is very valuable. What I would like to hear from the audience is to, how many of you have this passion to go out and be entrepreneurs? So you've all been here. So what is your passion about being an entrepreneur? So Jerson, Ali, Hauping, Filani, Latif, Emmanuel, Swapnil, to what extent do you relate to Shani's passion? Okay, I bombed. So Shani, tell me about where your passion is going further. What's your next passion? What do you see in your life?
It's going to be because my mission as of now is making our cities more sustainable, more greener and more cleaner, right? So in Delhi, the capital city of India, it's holiday over there, right? So they have announced holiday in the entire Delhi city. Why? Because they don't have a pure air. It's a right. It's not the choice. So young entrepreneur like me, young entrepreneur like many others have to work to make our world a better place. Right? It's our responsibility. It's us. So this is my vision. I have to make. I want to make sure that our cities are more sustainable, more greener, more cleaners, less pollutant. Right? And that is where I am focusing on. We have 10 cities as a client. I want to make, so there are 10,000 plus cities globally who have their own renewable targets, but they are not able to achieve it because they don't have a space to do it. They don't have big land available in the cities where they install solar plants. So my vision or a mission in next 3 years is to enable these cities to achieve their own renewable goals and targets, where my product or my value proposition is going to play a very important role to make that happen. So this is where I see my kind of a goal, the contribution to the earth, which given us everything. This is what I see myself contributing.
Thank you. Rachel, back to you.
Well, I guess, do we have any other last questions or anything for Shani from the audience?
Roshan, anything more?
I think I guess I had all my questions answered, but probably I'll stay back for a little bit more chit chat later.
Great. So I think we are ready to do the closing statement.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Oh, wait, sorry. Do we have a question?
Yeah, just a general question. So what do you look for in who like you partner with? Are there any specific personal traits that you try and look for when you try to like establish partnerships with other people?
Yes. So that is a one important parameter which I normally want to when we do partnerships or we do kind of a recruitment in our company. The two things which we see the most. One is kind of how much trustworthy that person is, right? So in country like India, it's good about check the facts, right? It's good to see his background, and it's good to see how his attitude is, right? And sometimes attitudes matter the most. If you are the one of the best kind of a engineer in the world, if you are one of the best kind of a person in the world, but if you are not right attitude to work with the team players or with the company or with the partners, that is not going to survive the most, right? So it's kind of a marriage. When we do a partnerships or we hire people in our company, it's kind of a getting married. So the marriage must be the stronger. It must be on the understanding, right? And it must be on the facts and the truth, which needs to be explored. So that is one area. Another area is how the mindset of that particular person is. Because many people see as a growth mindset, many people see as a stagnant mindset, many people are kind of they're living the life and they want to live it as it goes around, right? So when I recruit people or we do partnerships, we try to find out the similar kind of a mindset people, growth mindset people, not the people who just want to do what they might be not. So the people without vision, with people without mission of their life, people they don't have a pathway. We don't want them to be part of our journey or our company or our partnership, because ultimately it is going to affect the culture of your entire organization. If only so for example, if one person is not working, ultimately it is also going to affect other persons. It's kind of putting up a mango, the one bad mango into the good mango stuff, and then making sure that all your mangoes are not right to eat after 2 days, right? So we make sure that we find right kind of people, right kind of partners who are having a similar mindset, right attitude to grow, to create impact, and make this world a better place when we do any kind of partnerships or recruitments in the company. Hope that I answered your question, Sulani.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Shani. We really appreciate you coming and speaking to us at so late an hour. I guess that will probably be it for this particular presentation, but everyone can feel free to stick around and chat afterwards. Thanks again so much. And don't forget to sign the sign-in sheet, which is in the chat box. Okay.
Perfect.